Yo, what's up YouTube? Alex here, and in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down my best day sports betting ever. It was July 2nd, 2024. Summer is known to be the worst time of year to bet on sports. There's no NBA, there's no NFL, and this was my best day sports betting ever. It was on the MLB. MLB season for 2025 starts this week, so I decided it was a good time to make this video. And all of these picks, like usual, were given out for free on social media, Twitter, stuff like that. So a bunch of people tailed and were able to cash in big as well. But what I wanted to kind of go through is, how did I find this edge? Why was I so confident in these plays having an edge that I was willing to put, $4,000? I think I bet about $4,000 total to profit $54,000. And all of these picks were on a new sports book that just launched called Betr Picks. So you can kind of see on Betr Picks, this is my profit graph from last year. It was pretty flat, kind of grinding up, and then it shoots up, and then it kind of grinds up again. And again, I'm gonna be taking you through everything in this video. So the plays were all on Betr Picks on July 2nd. And the main two plays that I paired together were Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge to both hit a home run, right? It seems so simple. Take the two best players, the two best hitters in the MLB, pair them together to hit a home run and make $54,000, but it's actually a little bit more mathematical than that, and that's what I'm gonna get into in this video. So again, every single slip that I hit on Betr on July 2nd had Ohtani to hit a home run and Aaron Judge to hit a home run. Basically, earlier that summer, Betr launched something called Boosted Picks, these yellow squares. And I was playing around with Betr and I noticed, hey, any two boosted picks you pair together comes out to be a 10x payout. So Ohtani and Judge, both boosted picks, you pair them together, you get a 10x payout. So you're putting down 100 to win 1,000, 900 in profit. So essentially any two-leg parlay with boosted picks, you're getting a 10x payout, which means plus 900 odds. So it didn't matter what players, essentially on Betr, any MLB player, they basically had that player to hit a home run as a boosted pick. And if you reverse engineer what a two-pick parlay is at plus 900 odds, essentially what it means is Betr is giving you, on each boosted pick, approximately plus 216 odds, right? You can just use a parlay calculator. Any two boosted picks comes out to plus 900 or a 10x payout on Betr. So they're basically giving you plus 216 odds on any boosted pick. Right? It doesn't matter either, like stolen bases, total bases, any boosted pick on the board on Betr is plus 216 odds. Usually, these boosted picks are horrible, right? On Betr, basically every MLB player to hit a home run is a boosted pick. And if you look at DraftKings, for example, most players in the MLB aren't 2-to-1 underdogs to hit a home run. Most are much bigger underdogs, plus 500, plus 600. So for example, just looking at, MLB opening day, Aaron Judge is plus 225 to hit a home run. The next most likely player is Rhys Hoskins at plus 475. So I'd never want to include Rhys Hoskins as a boosted pick in my Betr entry, because on Betr, they're essentially giving me plus 216 odds. Right? They're essentially giving you plus 216 odds. Any two boosted picks comes out to a 10x payout. So Betr is basically giving you plus 216 on any player on the board to hit a home run. And usually that's, fine for Betr, because that's a super unprofitable bet. Most MLB players you don't want to take at plus 200, plus 216 to go yard. However, Ohtani and Judge aren't average players, right? Those are the two best power hitters in the MLB. And on this specific day, looking at sports books, most sports books had Judge and Ohtani to hit a home run. They were in favorable matchups, favorable ballparks. Ohtani and Judge on most sports books were around plus 150 to hit a home run. So on this particular day, Judge and Ohtani were really good value on Betr. So basically, you can use sportsbook odds to determine the rough probability, the approximate probability that a bet wins. So for example, let's say every single sportsbook had Aaron Judge with the vig removed at plus 200 to hit a home run. The market would be implying Aaron Judge, he's plus 200, fair. He's a 2-to-1 underdog to hit a home run. So according to the market, these multi-billion-dollar corporations that are experts in setting lines, Aaron Judge would have a 33.3% chance of hitting a home run in the given game. Again, every single game, depending on the opposing pitcher, if it's a really good pitcher, that's going to affect Aaron Judge's probability of hitting a home run. Same thing with wind. Ballpark, is it a stadium where it's easy to hit home runs, or are you playing at a stadium where it's harder to hit home runs? All of this is factored into the market, into the odds these sports books are putting out. And let's just say after doing all that, Aaron Judge was plus 200 fair value to hit a home run, a 2-to-1 underdog. That means the market, the sports books are implying he has a 1/3 chance, 33.3% of going yard. So basically what I did is I took an average of every sports book, and what I had is for Shohei Ohtani, he was fair around plus 205 odds. So he had a 32.8% chance of hitting a home run in the given game. For Aaron Judge was a slightly bigger favorite to hit a home run. He was fair around plus 190, which implied a 34.5% win probability. So again, I said on Betr that these boosted picks are approximately plus 215 odds, right? So if Aaron Judge is fair at plus 190, that's the true price that he should be priced at, plus 190 odds with the vig removed and everything. Plus 215, the Betr Boosted pick, is actually a profitable bet with an edge. So let's just kind of go through the math. Again, these numbers are approximate. I'm not saying sports books are perfect. Maybe Shohei, he wasn't 32.8%. He was 31.8% or 33.8%. But again, you don't have to be perfect. Just for the sake of analysis, I looked at, hundreds of sports books, kind of backed out the average probability of each player hitting a home run based on sportsbook odds, based on market information. I had Shohei at 32.8% chance of hitting a home run in the given game, and I had Judge at 34.5%. So, these are independent games, right? Ohtani and Judge, if Judge hits a home run, there's no correlation to Ohtani hitting a home run, right? There's no relationship. So the probability both players hit a home run is simply 34.8% or 32.8%, I apologize, for Shohei, times 34.5% for Aaron Judge, right? So if you want to think about it from a math perspective, and I know this is a little nerdy, if Shohei has a 32.8% chance, according to the sports books, multi-billion-dollar corporations like FanDuel, DraftKings, these companies that are experts in setting lines, if Ohtani is 32.8% to hit a home run, Judge is 34.5%. You just multiply those numbers together, and that will give you the probability both players hit a home run. And in this case, it was 11.3%. So the market is basically implying that Ohtani and Judge, both to hit a home run, is going to happen 11.3% of the time. And again, for every single game, right, every single day where Judge and Ohtani are playing together, it's going to be different, right? Because if Ohtani's facing one of the best pitchers in the MLB, he may be plus 400 to hit a home run, a 4-to-1 underdog, 20%. And then that boosted pick on Betr is no good. So everything depends on the given game, right? And all of this, lineups, who is Ohtani facing? Who's Judge facing? What ballpark? What's the wind like? All of that is factored into the odds that these sports books, these multi-billion-dollar corporations are putting out. But anyways, let's say Ohtani and Judge have an 11.3% probability of both hitting a home run. On Betr, we're getting a 10x payout, which is the same as plus 900 odds, right? Payout is a little bit different than odds because, for example, on this Betr slip, I put down 1,000 for a payout of 10,000. But the payout includes your stake. So I'm putting down 1,000 to win 9,000 in profit, which is the same as plus 900 odds. So if you're betting at plus 900 odds, right, and you're winning 11.3% of the time, which is the probability I had according to the sports books, according to the market of both Ohtani and Judge going yard, I had that at 11.3%. The expected value of placing a wager at plus 900 odds was approximately 13%. So it had a 13% profit margin. You can see the math kind of below on the screen, right? 11.3% of the time, Ohtani and Judge are both going to go yard. My play's going to win, and I'm going to win, $9,000 in profit. The other 88.7% of the time, my wager's going to lose. I'm going to lose $1,000. So you can go through and back out the expected value, the edge on this bet, and it turns out to be roughly 13%. So for my $1,000 wager, which is the max Betr limited me to, at the time, Betr had a max betting limit of $1,000 on all my plays. So I just played this for $1,000, this slip with Ohtani and Judge. So I'm placing a bet, $1,000 to win 9K. I'm winning it 11.3% of the time. So the expected value of my bet is $130, which just means over the course of the long run, if I'm placing bets at plus 900 odds and I'm winning 11.3% of them, I'm going to be profitable, right? I'm going to be profitable. I'm going to have an expected ROI. I'm going to have a long-term ROI of 13%. So what I noticed next is, hey, I was feeling a little bit degenerate that day, if I'm being honest, but also I have a pretty big unit size. So I said, maybe I can bet more by including another pick. I went through the math again because Betr just limited the exact slip that you went with. So I bet on Ohtani and Judge paired together, but if I threw in another pick that was also profitable, I could get even more money down. So that's why you see the different slip combinations that I ran. And regardless, I placed all these bets, betting about, whatever it was, $4,500 total. Every single pick won. Ohtani went yard, Judge went yard, and I had a massive payday. Obviously, I want to be clear, I didn't see the future. These weren't locks. There's no BS like that. I simply took sportsbook odds, market information, backed out the true probability of each player hitting a home run. I went through the math, calculated my expected value, my edge, and I saw, hey, 10% ROI is pretty good. Especially, you got to remember, in sports betting, you're betting on games that day. A lot of people will say a 10% ROI on your bets that's not that good. But you got to remember, I placed this bet the same day the players were playing. The stock market returns 10% a year. I'm getting a 10% return in a day, right? Long term. That's the power of sports betting, is compounding. Because a lot of people will look at my ROI for my profit last year and they'll be like, oh, the stock market went up that much. And it's like, well, in sports betting, this is daily compounding. Usually you're betting on games that day, especially with the MLB. So if you have a 3% ROI on your MLB bets, over the course of a month, that's a 90% ROI. 30 days in a month times 3% ROI, 3% on your bets means you're gonna have a monthly return, right? If you're betting $10,000 a day, you're gonna make $9,000 profit roughly per month in expected value. There will be some variance depending on the betting strategy you're using. But regardless, that's kind of a little breakdown of Betr, of my biggest winning day sports betting. I hope you found it helpful. Please comment any questions. I love talking about sports betting, explaining the math behind sports betting. I'm always here to help. And also, please comment other video ideas you have for me. I'm always looking for new, interesting sports betting content to do. So if you have any other ideas, let me know. I love making sports betting content. And thanks so much for your time.